Hey everybody, it's an exciting day. Today is December 1st, and do you know what that means? The first bake of Christmas. I'm really excited because this is the first time I'm doing this. Of course, I just started my channel, so of course it's the first time I'm doing this, and I need to stop saying of course. But anyways, today we're going to be making something that's very delicious, but unfortunately, since you don't bake it in the oven, you kids under 21 can't have this. But anyways, I'm happy to say that our first dessert will be no-bake Bailey's bonbons. The ingredients are actually really simple. You only need some heavy whipping cream. Doesn't matter what brand. They all do the same thing basically. A bag of dark chocolate chips, 4 tablespoons of butter, or actually, sorry, 2 tablespoons of butter. It's just I cut it into 4, so it looks like 4. I can't count. And then, of course, Bailey's. So what you're going to do first is you're going to open up your bag of chocolate chips. And I have no strength, so you might be here for, oh, look at that. Aha. Apparently I do have strength. I'm just going to pour those chocolate chips. And then you're going to set the bowl aside, and you're going to measure out your heavy whipping cream. Now, the recipe calls for half a cup and 1 tablespoon of heavy cream. So you're going to pour it into a half a cup, and it wants you to pour it into a saucepan. So, very simple. Pour it into a saucepan, and then you get your 1 tablespoon and you pour that into the saucepan as well. And then you take your 2 tablespoons of butter and you cut them into little pieces like I've already done. If the paper will come off. And then you just break them apart and you put them in the saucepan as well. So then, after that, you put your stove on medium heat and you bring it to a boil. Not a full boil, but a semi-boil, I guess. You want it hot, but not too hot that it burns the cream or anything like that. So, I will be back in just a little while after we've heated up our heavy cream. Welcome back, guys and dolls. So, now that we have our heavy cream and butter all boiling, we're going to take it, and always make sure that you use a pot holder to do this because it is hot and I don't want anybody burning themselves. You're just going to take this hot mixture and you're going to pour it into the chocolate. Okay, then what you're going to do from there is you're going to let it sit for about 2 minutes to let it kind of mix up a little bit. And then, once again, I'll be back in just a little bit to take it from there. Alright, and I'm back again. So, now that we've let this sit for about 2 minutes, what we're going to do next is take our handy dandy spatula and mix it all up. The reason why we let the cream and butter mixture sit in the chocolate is to kind of let it heat up the chocolate a little bit so that it is easier to melt. However, that isn't to say that some of the chocolate might not melt. So if you have that problem, then what you need to do is stick it in your microwave for about 20 seconds. And do that in 20-second intervals, because you know, you could put it in for 20 seconds and it might not quite get it. So it's going to take a couple of, maybe a minute or so to get that whole mixture together. But the finished product should look like a whole melt of chocolatey goodness. And just make sure there are no lumps, and of course scrape the bowl. You want to get every bit of that chocolatey goodness. So now that we have the chocolate all melted and the heavy cream and butter in there, we get to do the fun part. Add the liquor. So what you're gonna do, of course, is open up your bottle and you're gonna put in 3 tablespoons of Bailey's in there. Put 1, 2, 3. And then after that, you're gonna mix it up again. And it's gonna start smelling like the manna of the gods, because this smells heavenly. I just wanna stick my whole face in it. Just mix it, and it shouldn't take too long to kind of mix in there. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the bowl and you're gonna put it in your fridge for about 3 hours. I know. The worst thing about baking is sometimes that you have to put things in the fridge and let it cool for forever, even though you want it right this second. But however, I promise you that the end result will be worth the wait. So, I'll check you guys back in about 3 hours. Until then, see ya. Hey everybody, and welcome back. So now that we have our mix all frozen up, I guess, or cooled is the technical term, we now can use one of our handy dandy scoopers, or if you don't have a scooper lying around, you could use a melon baller to roll them up. So of course the first thing you do is scoop some, and it may not form a perfect ball, so you just want to kind of roll it in your hands until it gets to that ball size. And then you're going to roll it in some sprinkles. And ta-da! Cute, isn't it? And then you just use a pretty plate and do them like so. Isn't it pretty? So, have to roll up the sleeves of my awesome ugly sweater. Jolliest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house, because I'm a nut. Anyways, and do another scoop. And roll it. And don't freak out if it's not the perfect ball size. I mean, they will be eaten, so it's not like anybody's gonna be judging if, like, they're not the perfect ball size. And of course, you don't have to use Christmas sprinkles like I did, but since it is the 12 bakes of Christmas, and you just continue on like so. I'm going to do one more, because it's not too hard to describe the rolling and sprinkling part. But as I said before, you can put whatever kind of sprinkles you want, or you don't have to put sprinkles on it if you don't want to either, because let's be honest, not everybody likes sprinkles, or how they say up in northern PA, jimmies, which I've only heard once before, and that was in Codename Kids Next Door, which I was obsessed with as a child. Can you see my fingers have become all chocolatey? Yum. Don't want to wash my hands. So, as I stated before, this is a very, very simple, easy recipe, and while the wait for it to cool is probably the longest part of it, it's very simple and it's delicious too. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I tried to make it short. Don't want to make it as long as I did with my cupcake tutorials because God knows that was forever. But tomorrow I will be showing you all how to make peanut butter dog treats. That way your little puppy in your life can get a treat too. Alright, so I'll see you guys then. Ta-ta!